Holidays and birthdays are excellent times to stay in touch with the ones you love and those that you want to build business relationships with. Unfortunately, the cost of postage and stamps these days makes that kind gesture rather unaffordable. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a way to be in touch with those people that you want to build business and or personal relationships with without it costing an arm and a leg? Now that is possible in the digital age through the use of video. Check out viralmarketingforyou.com for more information and put that 50 cents right back into your pocket where it belongs.
What are some of the biggest challenges that we face to wellness? Certainly stress, in terms of mental stress. Peace of mind is a huge one for many people, and that is often related to what you don't have in your wallet, isn't it? I mean, a lot of family arguments, a lot of divorces, a lot of problems with kids, and all kinds of problems in our society are wrapped around many times inadequate finances. And that stress causes disease after a while. What about environmental stress? Drinking lousy water, breathing lousy air. Is our environment healthier now, or was it healthier 100 years ago? It's healthier 100 years ago, right? I mean, we didn't even need an environmental protection agency 100 years ago. Now we need that drastically, and we hear about global warming and all kinds of things. And believe me, the environment that you live in and the environment that you surround yourself in is hugely important to your long-term health. And that's why living in a wellness home is so awfully important, because most of us spend more time there than any other one single place during most days of our life. I'm going to say that one of the biggest challenges to our health is the standard American diet. Anybody kind of can sympathize with that? I mean, we eat a terrible diet. I mean, the standard American diet is terrible. If you go to a fast food restaurant for one meal during a day, you've blown any kind of healthy eating plan that you might have, because you're not going to find that at a fast food restaurant. Sleep issues are huge challenges to our wellness. We're just now starting to discover that as medicine finally got around to looking at sleep from the pathologic standpoint. What we find is that sleep, the quality of your sleep and the quantity of your sleep, affects every aspect of your life. Not just when you're sleeping, but it affects every aspect of your life. And it's crucial in a wellness plan that you pay very close attention to the quality and the quantity of sleep that you're getting. We are one of the most sleep-deprived countries in the world. On average, just in terms of hours of sleep, we're about an hour and a half to 2 hours behind any of the other developed countries in the world, and that's not good. Many people that I know, type A personalities that I went to school with and everything, and myself, prided myself on being able to get by with 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night and still think that I was functioning normally. I could function normally, but what I didn't understand was that I was taking money out of the bank of my long-term health, and so you can't do that forever and ever and not expect to run into problems. So sleep's hugely important. Fitness is important, and in fact, a lot of people, if you were just to do a survey out in the street and you asked them about wellness, they would almost automatically go to fitness, and they would almost automatically say, I know I should exercise more, I just don't have time. And fitness is hugely important, but it isn't any more important than drinking clean water, breathing clean air, eating the right kinds of nutrition, and getting a good night's sleep. And so fitness is just part and parcel. But it is a big challenge because it's uncomfortable and it takes time. I think you're going to see a way with Nikken where you can incorporate fitness into your daily routine and not necessarily have to take extra time out of it to get that exercise. Another big risk and another big challenge that we face in looking at what sort of wellness plan to develop is that of the American medical system. I've been part of that system for 30-odd years. I know how it works. I know where it works. I know where it doesn't work. It works really well for the kind of medicine that I practice, which is emergency medicine. It works pretty well in the intensive care unit if you're trying to snatch somebody back from death's door and give them another chance. It doesn't work very well in terms of prevention. It doesn't work very well in taking care of chronic diseases. And there's much more that we do to cover up symptoms than there is to come even close to a cure in medicine. And so the bottom line really is your wellness plan should be focused in the direction of keeping you out of the doctor's office, keeping you out of my emergency room, because once you enter the medical system in this country, we call it health care, it's really sick care. Once you enter that system, you now put yourself at risk for all kinds of other complications. And so a wellness plan, if well constructed and followed, should keep you away from needing that sick care system because it's going to keep you well. And just if that's all it did, would be a tremendous benefit to you. And I see complications of medications, complications of surgery, complications of just any sorts of interaction with the healthcare system enough to make me, as a physician, I only go there when I have to, and mostly that's when I go to work. So you're better off not having the need to go see a physician, and just don't let her get sick. What are the, one of the radio advertisements for this said that what are the 5 killers that are chasing you around the block? And I think everybody has their own favorite 5 killers, but certainly statistically, heart disease and stroke is the number one disease process that's going to get you. We've made a few inroads in that medically, but not a lot. We do a lot of expensive surgery, prescribe a lot of expensive drugs. We don't really change long-term outcomes very much. We can sometimes eliminate chest pain, but it certainly doesn't put your heart back on track to being a healthy heart. And stroke has the same sort of mechanism. And if you're young and you're saying, I'm not worried about heart attack, I'm 18, 19, 20, there's all kinds of information to show that heart disease starts in your teenage years. And in our society now, with our diet, it probably starts in adolescent years. And so if you're not paying attention to that, once your mom and dad should pay attention to that until you're out of the house. But as soon as you're out of the house, it's your responsibility. But they've done, going back even to the Korean War when they did autopsies on, 18, 19, 20-year-old soldiers that were killed, they already had a significant amount of clogged arteries, even at that young age. And I would arguably say that they were relatively healthy people. I mean, you don't carry a pack around and slog through the ditches and fight wars in an unhealthy condition. So these are healthy young males that already had coronary artery disease, and we're going back, 50 years ago. So I would venture to say that has not gotten any better over the last 50 years because we've seen a rise of McDonald's and all that kind of stuff. And so, we're clogging our arteries up big time. So heart disease is the number one problem. Are there some fancy high-priced stuff that we can do if you let yourself get sick? Yes, there is, but it's not going to get you back to normal. Your only prayer of reversing some of the effects of cardiac disease is a properly constructed diet and wellness program, and in that case, you can have some improvement. Cancer is the number 2 killer. Is there anybody in here that knows somebody that has cancer or has died of cancer? I would venture to guess almost everybody. It's a terrible problem in our society. I'm here to tell you that it is, to a great degree, preventable. If any of you have gone through cancer treatment or know somebody that's gone through cancer treatment, you know that it's not pleasant. You know that it has all kinds of side effects. You know that you can die from the treatment. You know that sometimes when you're getting treatment for cancer, you wish you'd die because you just feel terrible. And so, would it be better to prevent cancer than to get it? Yeah. Okay. Anybody here thinks different? Come talk to me later. We'll have some reality training. But the interesting thing about cancer is that I was just reading a book lately that there's 3 stages of cancer. There's the initiation, then there's the promotion, and then there's when it really gets to the state where you're sick and needing chemotherapy and radiation and all that stuff. This book is all about how the right diet can, even if you consume a carcinogen or even if you have bad genetic makeup that presupposes you to cancer, like say breast cancer, even if you have all of those risk factors against you, if you adopt a very rigorous wellness program with real particular attention to your diet, and I'm not saying diet as opposed to losing weight, I'm just talking about what you eat on a daily basis, that you can markedly affect the promotion stage of that disease to the point where it never goes beyond 1 or 2 cells or just some damage to your DNA. And so cancer is to a large degree, a very large degree, preventable even in those people who have an inherent propensity, family history type thing for that disease. The number 3 leading cause of death and serious morbidity in this country is an adverse consequence of some type of interaction with the medical care system, be it an adverse reaction to a properly prescribed drug, be it an adverse reaction to surgery, be it whatever. But as I said previously, you want to do everything you can to avoid having to enter the American healthcare system. And it is the best westernized healthcare system in the world, and we do excel at saving people from trauma, and we do excel in the ICU and the emergency room, and we do a very good job of treating symptoms. But let me tell you, and I would imagine that there are some of you in here already that understand that when I say you don't want to come to me unless you really have to. You want to do everything you can to stay healthy and